can't believe it. They're finally back. What's up everybody, I'm Seth Fowler and today I'm reviewing the 2018 Air Jordan 11 Concord. Or at least that's what I think it's gonna be because I got this package in from Jordan Brand and based on the wrapping paper, that's what I'd assume. So before we get any farther into the video, let's open up this package and see what we've got. First off, huge thank you to Jordan Brand for gifting me this pair of sneakers early. Before we actually jump into the shoes themselves, let's take a look at this note, and it says, "You've been gifted the Grail, the Air Jordan 11 Concord. With its game-changing design and impact on basketball culture, it's worthy of the biggest moments from the court to the stage. You're receiving this pair to celebrate the impact you've had on someone's life and your love of the game." That's awesome. Thank you so much, Jordan Brand. I'm so excited for this. You've also got this little tag that says, "To Seth from Jordan Brand." That's awesome. Okay, I'm not gonna waste any more time. Let's open this guy up. It already feels like Christmas and it's just November. This is the best. I kinda don't wanna ruin the wrapping paper because it's so nice. Oh man, this is so sick. So as you guys can tell, this time around, Jordan Brand opted to go with the OG Air Jordan 11 box. It obviously doesn't have that sort of slide out cover that we've grown used to over the last couple years. This is back to the true OG 95 box. So here's the size tag if you guys were wondering. It drops on December 8th for 220 bucks. It also just had a very limited release on Sneakers app, which I'm sure some of you guys were able to catch. I actually got the pair there as well, so I've got that pair coming in too. I didn't know I was gonna get this pair directly from Jordan Brand, but I'm happy to double up. It's a classic. It's about as classic as you can get. One to rock, one to stock. So the moment of truth is here. Let's open this guy up and see what we've got. Oh man, these are gorgeous. Oh man. Man. So now that we've got the unboxing out of the way, before we jump into the review itself, let me fill you guys in on a little bit of history behind this sneaker. And the reason I want to give you guys a little bit of background on the sneaker first is because if you don't know anything about this sneaker, you don't realize how iconic it is and how big of a deal it is to sneaker culture. People who didn't grow up in the Jordan era might not understand it. I caught the very tail end. I'm 26, so I caught the last little bits of his career, and of course some of the sneaker culture of it. But this sneaker literally is one of the most iconic Jordans, if not sneakers, of all time. Of course, being an Air Jordan, the story does have to start with Michael Jordan when he first debuted the sneaker on May 7th, 1995. He wore the sneaker in Game 1 of the Eastern Conference semifinals against the Orlando Magic. And unfortunately, the colorway of the sneaker didn't conform with the NBA's color guidelines when it came to sneakers, so Michael Jordan was fined $5,000 for wearing the shoe. And actually, for the next game, he had to borrow an all-black pair of Penny Hardaway sneakers, who of course was playing for the other team. So of course, Michael ripped the logos off the sneakers, as you do. And then for Game 3, Jordan Brand gave him a pair of the all-black Jordan 11s, now known as the Space Jams. The Concord 11s that Jordan wore on court had a 45 on the heel because that was his jersey number when he returned to the NBA from retirement. When the Concords finally released to the public in November of 1995, they featured a 23 on the heel instead of the 45 because that was the number he was known for and the number he was wearing at the time. Not only that, but at the time, the Concords released with a retail price of $125. Now they're $220. Boy, times have changed. As soon as the Concords released, they became insanely popular. NBA players were wearing them on court, people were wearing them to weddings, Boyz II Men even performed at the 1996 Grammy Awards in them. And since then, these sneakers have cemented themselves in history as one of the most classic and iconic sneakers of all time. And also, interesting side note, but Tinker Hatfield, of course the original designer of the sneaker, says that this is his favorite sneaker that he's ever designed. Which makes sense, because it's incredible. The last time the Concord 11s released was back in 2011, and unfortunately, I wasn't able to grab a pair. But now, 7 years later, and thanks to Jordan Brand, which is still incredible to say and something I never thought I'd say, I finally have a pair. Starting things off with the most iconic element of the Air Jordan 11s, we've got the black patent leather. This is the detail that makes this sneaker stand out. This is the part of the shoe that allows you to wear this to prom, to a basketball game, anywhere you want to go, this sneaker can go. And it's all because of this super glossy black patent leather. One thing that I really like that Jordan Brand did with this shoe is that they tried to make it as true to the OG as possible. So obviously they went back to the OG design of the box, but what that means for the actual design of the sneaker is that they raised the cut of the patent leather to match the OG. They did that last year too with the Space Jam 11s, and to be honest, I grew up in the era of the lower patent leather cut, but I've got to say, this OG look is fire. Something else you may have noticed, which wasn't present on the previous retros, is that there's actually peaks around the edges of the patent leather. A couple years ago, you could use peaks as an indicator that a sneaker was fake, especially on that older patent leather cut. However, those peaks are true to the OG, and it looks like that's what Jordan Brand is going back to. Continuing up the shoe, a large portion of this upper is covered in this white ballistic nylon. It's got such a classic look and feel. I love it. Of course, you've got the iconic Air Jordan 11 straps that turn into lace loops. You've got the super chunky white rope laces. If you didn't know, and a lot of people people don't. The reason this Jordan is called the Concord 11 is because of the Concord purple hits around the sneaker. Continuing inside the sneaker, you've got your standard Air Jordan 11 sock liner in black, and then rounding off the inside of the sneaker, you've got a black insole with Nike Air printed in white on the heel. As for sizing, the Air Jordan 11 is pretty easy because it basically fits true to size. However, of course, everyone's foot is different, so if you have a chance to try on the shoe first before you buy it, make sure to do that to make sure the sizing is right for you. Continuing back on the sneaker towards the heel, you've got this white leather panel with the Jumpman embroidered in black. If you've been wondering, the ball that Michael is holding is facing towards the front of the shoe on both sides of the pair. And then moving around to the heel of the sneaker, you've got that 45 printed in white. Continuing downward on the sneaker, you get to that Air Jordan 11 midsole in white. And then moving to the bottom of the sneaker, you've got this icy blue outsole. On the medial side of the midfoot, you've got that exposed carbon fiber. And then on the forefoot and the heel of the sneaker, you've got the Concord grape colored traction pods. So wrapping things up, is the 2018 Concord 11 worth your $220? In my opinion, 100%. But that's because I'm a Jordan head and I've wanted this grail for years. Will this sneaker be hard to get? Probably not. They're gonna make a bunch of pairs of them. However, I do think the shoe will sell out because of its crazy history and the fact that everyone wants one. So if you decide you want to grab this sneaker, it releases on December 8th for $220. But that pretty much wraps up the review for today. I would love to know your thoughts on the 2018 Air Jordan 11 Concords and whether you plan to pick up a pair for yourself when they release on December 8th or whether you already grabbed a pair off the sneakers app, so make sure to leave those comments in the comment section down below. I did this on the last video and I think I'm gonna do it again because it's awesome. Drop your favorite sneaker pun in the comment section down below and I'll pin my favorite. I love puns. What can I say? But as always, thank you so much for watching. Please make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, subscribe down below if you haven't yet, and I'll see you all in the next one.